Welcome back again to Joe Stunner Boxing. You may not be aware, it may have slipped through your net, but there was a good battle of undefeated heavyweights on last weekend, which I didn't see live. I've just seen it, saw it yesterday on YouTube. It was between LENIER PERO of Cuba and VIKTOR VYKHRYST of Ukraine. And very interesting fight because they were so evenly matched. It weren't really weren't what you'd call a knockdown, drag them out ruck, but it was very interesting because both guys, as you could tell from the off, very well skilled, very well schooled, lots of skills on display. Both were 30 years old. You can never really tell with the Cubans. Sometimes they tend to be a little bit shaky on the accuracy of the age, but both listed anyway at 30. Vykhryst is an orthodox fighter. Pero is southpaw. And from the word go, even though they both showed a lot of skills and a lot of willing, Vykhryst found the key, or he had the key probably before the fight started, the key to victory, which was go into the body. Because as I was watching this fight, I saw straight away there's a southpaw left jab to the body, to the solar plexus, I think it was, and this was a minute or two in, and I thought, oh, that's interesting because body work can be neglected at any weight, but at heavyweight you don't see many heavyweights concentrating primarily on the body. Now Vykhryst was firing punches back, but they were, most of them, the vast majority, were head punches, and he was doing it quite skillfully. I mean, these are two skillful guys, but that was the key, the body work from Pero, and that's not to say that he had everything his own way. He did not. Vykhryst had some good offensive moves. At the end of the third round, he landed an extremely good hook that it was a second or two before the end of the third round, and it shook Pero badly. I mean, it knocked him off balance. The force of the punch knocked him off balance, but then when he straightened up, his legs were doing a little shudder, and it was noticeable that Pero really had to watch himself. The power was there from Vykhryst, but he stuck to his boxing. Pero, well, they both did. I mean, they both showed good skills, but Pero just seemed to control the range slightly better. He was more economical with his punches, but was very, very accurate. Again, lots of body work, hooks and jabs to the body. Switched it up top occasionally just to mix it up a bit, I suppose. And Vykhryst, when Pero would land, Vykhryst would come back with a flurry of punches, and some would land, but Pero's defense was very, very good. And again, he was stepping slightly out of range, making Vykhryst reach a little bit, which is never good. You know, he didn't lose his shape, but there was definitely a little bit of, occasionally a little bit of, not desperation, but you've hit me, so I'm going to throw lots of punches back at you, that sort of thing. Now, both these guys were untested. Pero had fought absolutely no one. Vykhryst had fought, I think he outpointed Kevin Johnson last year over 8, and the Iago Kaladze, who has fought a few people and usually gets knocked out. He lasted, but he didn't last 2 rounds. He got knocked out in the second round. So there's really no one on either person's record with any ambition. But this is the type of fight we want to see. 2 undefeated guys. And the winner in the 8th round, out of the blue, was Pero. And I say out of the blue, but it's the fight. It was a hook to the body from Pero, yet another body punch from Pero. And Vykhryst just turned away, and reportedly he has got a couple of busted ribs or damaged ribs, and yeah, I don't think he quit as such. I think he just couldn't move anymore. He couldn't fight on, because Pero's body work. He just turned away. Vykhryst turned to the side, and the referee stepped in and stopped the fight. No knockdowns for either guy. Yeah, I can believe he's got a busted rib. Those heavy hands of Pero were. It's such an intelligent, the way he dissected him. Chris Eubank Jr. said he was going to tenderize Liam Smith, which of course he didn't. But this was a tenderization job. Is that a word, tenderization? But you know what I mean? That consistent attritional sort of water on rock tactic from Pero. Really, really good performance, I thought, against a good opponent. And Vykhryst can come again. You know, but he's going to need a rest. You know, he's going to need to get that rib fixed. I don't think it's necessarily a weakness from Vykhryst to the body. I think it's just Pero was so good at highlighting that tactic and following it through, that he just busted the guy up internally. And it shows the value of bodywork, of going to the body. You know, one of my favourite fighters, probably the best technical fighter I ever saw live, was Mike McCallum. And of course, he was called the Body Snatcher. And if you know anything about Mike McCallum, you know what a terrific fighter he was. A very, very skillful 3-weight world champ. Yeah. So Pero, can he move on to world level? I mean, to fight for world titles. I'd like to see him in with, who should we have now? Jared Anderson, maybe, you know, someone like that. I think he's definitely got a future. I mean, he's only 30, which isn't old for a heavyweight. It's not old for a fighter these days. But this was a good performance. I was impressed by it. So it was on YouTube. Go and have a look, see what you think. But we need more of these fights. Undefeated fighters fighting each other, putting it on the line. A defeat doesn't define you. You can come back. You can rebuild, reset yourself. But well done to Pero and Vykhryst. Commiserations, but all credit to both of them for taking each other on so early in their careers. You know, this is what we need. This is on PBC, by the way, which proves that PBC still shows some good fights. But go and have a look at it. LENIER Perro versus VIKTOR VYKHRYST. Cuba versus Ukraine. Cuba came out on top this time. Have a look at it on YouTube, see what you think, and let me know your feelings below, any opinions you got. Thanks for your time as always. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the like button. Jab the subscribe button, right cross on the like button. Much appreciated. We'll speak again soon. Enjoy your day and bye for now.